Greetings, bassheads. This is the mercifully disembodied voice of Dr. Dum-de-Dum, reporting from Mars, where scientists have recently discovered the exact moment that the PJ-style electric bass made its appearance in human history. And here it is. Let's look at that magic moment again. It occurred near the beginning of Ted Nugent's 1975 hit Stranglehold, when the guitar and the bass hit together twice in unison. Boom, boom. Ted Nugent's bassist, Rob Grange, had recently modified his stock 1962 Fender Precision bass. Grange had a single-coil Fender Jazz pickup installed at the bridge on his P-bass, as you can see in this Stranglehold-era photo. The result was a bass with two pickups. The bridge pickup was a stock Fender split single-coil P-bass pickup, and now Grange also had a stock Fender single-coil J-bass pickup at the bridge. This was the first known example of a type of electric bass we now call the PJ, which has over the subsequent 50 years become the most popular electric bass pickup configuration in the world. Grange didn't know it at the time, but the first commercially produced PJ had actually already very quietly appeared a few months before. In 1974, Japanese instrument manufacturer Ibanez released this bass, the Ibanez 2369B. The Ibanez 2369B had all the right ingredients, but it was really just a proof of concept product. No one in the U.S. knew anything about it, and it had no impact in the real world commercially. Nonetheless, the Japanese were clearly intrigued with the PJ idea. At the beginning, though, it wasn't really clear what the ideal pickup combination was going to be. So during the 1970s and early 1980s, the Japanese experimented with all sorts of hybrid pickup combos. We had the PP, with two P-bass pickups, as seen here in an example from Aria. Ibanez and Aria also experimented with the HJ combo, with a humbucker at the neck and a J-bass single coil at the bridge, as we see in this example from Ibanez. Even the path to commercial domination for the PJ wasn't entirely clear at the beginning. The world's first commercially produced PJ bass, the Ibanez 2369B, was a passive price point instrument. But after that, the Japanese manufacturers steered the PJ to the high end and active electronics. Yamaha made some absolutely gorgeous and still highly sought-after neck-through PJs like this 1980 Yamaha Broadbass BB2000. In 1981, Ibanez released a line of active Roadster PJ basses with white pickup covers that look like spats. And Fender's Japanese subsidiary, Fender Japan, was in the middle of it all. Fender Japan developed and released the Boxer line of PJ basses, as well as the Fender Precision Bass Lite and the Fender Jazz Bass Special, which evolved into the Duff McKagan Signature P-Bass, which Fender reissued in 2019. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, in Brooklyn, New York, a small boutique bass maker named Spector had also begun manufacturing PJ-style basses. In 1983, one of these Spector NS2 basses landed in the hands of Sting, then the bassist, lead singer, and charismatic force behind the popular band The Police. More or less at the same time, The Police released their most successful album, Synchronicity, and went on world tour. Sting played his white Spector throughout the Synchronicity tour, and after that, the PJ look was about as hip as you could get. But Spector didn't have the ability to go mass market with the PJ idea, and Fender USA didn't want to push Fender Japan's PJs in America. Then things started happening fast. In 1983-84, Ibanez returned to where it had started with the Ibanez 2369B 10 years before. It released a passive price point PJ with black pickup covers called the Ibanez Roadstar 2 RB650, which turned out to be the chosen one. An instant classic, the Ibanez RB650 was one of those rare instrument designs that got everything right. starting with the tone. Even after a half-century of imitation by every bass manufacturer on the planet, the Ibanez RB650 may still have the best PJ tone of them all. Then there's the action on the gloss-finished maple neck and fretboard, and perfect balance from the standpoint of both design and the feel of the instrument in the hand. And of course, its elegant good looks. And there's a delicious irony in that, too. The Ibanez RB650 is built exactly along the lines of a Fender bass, including the shape of the body, pickguard, headstock, and the skunk stripe down the back of the neck. I call the Ibanez RB650 the best Fender bass that Fender never built. But in 1984, Fender USA, the parent company of Fender Japan, had no interest in any of this. Here's where Fender USA thought the world was headed in 1984. This is a 1984 Fender Precision Bass Elite 2 with a PP pickup configuration, again with spats. But Ibanez knew a winner when it saw one. The Ibanez RB650 quickly became Ibanez's best-selling bass, and the rock upon which Ibanez built its very successful line of Soundgear PJ basses 3 years later. So there you have it, the first commercially produced PJ bass, the unheralded Ibanez 6369B in 1974, the first known appearance of the PJ on a popular record, Rob Grange's customized 1962 Fender Precision bass on Ted Nugent's 1975 hit Stranglehold, and finally, the first commercially successful PJ bass in America, the 1984 Ibanez Roadstar II RB650. And here's where it all began.